Have you ever considered going on gear? And if you have, would you ever compete in a show? Anything Coach Greg, Coach Jesse.
Coach Jesse here, and I'm here with
Coach Greg.
And today we're going to be answering your questions.
So here we have it. We have Jesse on the famous couch. We're doing Q&As. We're going to find out what he thinks. We're answering your questions. I'm going to have some of my own, some from the audience. And so let's get started.
Let's do it.
Do you ever consider content shifts, or do you feel you have been locked into your current standard?
I don't think that I'm ever really been locked in my content. If you look back at my content, there's about like every 3 to 4 months, there's a shift. So I went from nutrition videos in my basement, then I went to starting the vlog, then I went to viral aspects, and now I'm in like another like viral fitness category. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, if you do the same video over and over again, no matter how good and interesting you are, the people are going to lose interest. Mm-hmm. It's only so exciting for so long. So if you're not shifting in some way, like his old videos, a lot of making anabolic French toast and stuff, and now it's a lot more, I guess, exciting meeting all these famous people and collaborating together. And so you have to keep things changing, keep things moving. And sometimes the audience doesn't like that, but like,
yeah,
you know,
I feel like I'm whenever I grow in life, I want my content to grow that direction too, and my audience to grow that direction. And if they don't want to, I mean, like, hopefully you enjoyed the old content, but like, it's always changing.
What has been the hardest part about maintaining a good-looking physique for you? And just so you know, 10.1% body fat, extremely lean, and he's natural. So what is the secret?
The secret is, I stay fairly lean all year round. I don't bulk ever. Haven't bulked in like 3 years. Progressively getting stronger. It's what Greg would say is main gaining. I like it because I don't have to cut for if I go on a diet, I like it because I only need to go on a diet for like a month max. I can get lean in 2 weeks. Like I can like drastically look different in 2 weeks. But if I was heavier, like 190, I'd have to drop 10 pounds before I even see anything. So I just don't want to do that. And I feel like the hardest part that comes along with that is not just letting go. Like, I feel like when you're bulking, a lot of people are just like, oh, screw it, I'm just gonna eat these burgers, fries, and you get fat. But like, obviously, as much as I want to be like, oh, I wish I could just go eat those burgers and do that, I do it in moderation, like once a week compared to every day.
And so do you get cravings? Like, are you very hungry? Like, do you have lack of energy? Because 10.1% body fat, just so you know, that is extremely lean. Maybe 1 in 100 could maintain that lean of a level and feel normal. And so are you suffering? Like, is it hard?
I would say the only part is just like the mental aspect of, damn, I want to be chewing food right now. But I don't really get hungry. It's this weird thing. I'll have like the ghrelin thing in the morning where it's like my body's telling me to eat, but it's like a hormonal thing. But I don't, I'm not like eating and thinking, oh my God, I'm starving, unless I just don't eat all day.
And I've seen you drink a lot of coffee. Do you think that's made a difference? Like, you know,
it probably suppresses
keeps your appetite down.
Yeah.
And so what about sleep? Are you sleeping a lot? Like, I mean,
yes.
Mike Thurston, he claims natural, and he says, you know, he loses a lot of muscle when he's not sleeping and so on. So are you doing everything and anything to make sure that you can stay at 10%? Like, is your diet on point always? You always getting the right sleep, the supplements, everything? Is it always, or are you just are you just lucky and it's just genetics?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very lucky and it's genetics, but I would say, like I said, like 2 weeks for me to see a visible difference, to get lean, to get very lean. 1 week to just kind of get back on track for me. Like, that's all I need. So I would say, like, when I'm traveling and stuff, and I travel a lot for YouTube, I am off diet. Like, not badly off diet, but I'm at like maybe a 200 calorie surplus a day. And then when I get home, I'm making sure I hit my cardio training and everything for a whole week to kind of bring myself back to maintenance. And I stay around there. My sleep, I now get 8 hours of sleep, because I have enough employees doing things for me. Mm-hmm. But a year ago, I was probably sleeping like 6 hours a night every night. Sometimes once in a while less. I was never sleeping over 8 hours, that's for sure. Now I sleep over 8 hours every here and there.
What is Jesse's favorite anabolic recipe?
That's easy. French toast, baby.
Would have predicted that. The French toast, he's been doing that for years. It's been in a number of his videos. He's eaten 24 hours eating French toast for a week. Yeah. It's there. So
I love it.
Anabolic French toast. And we made it today even. What are the effects of Trochester?
My general consensus is that if you're going to compare it to another supplement, it's kind of like how creatine works in the beginning, where you feel the difference, you feel bigger, you feel stronger, your muscles feel better when you're working out. Like, you can tell there's like something going on. But at a certain point, it's not just going to keep going up, 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 up. It's like you're going to come up a little bit. It's going to give you that 1 to 5% advantage, I feel like. And you're going to like taper there and just like either continuously slowly gain muscle over time and make it a little easier. But I felt that I always had a good workout. My strength increased. Honestly, like my bench, it did not increase for like 3 years. I started taking testosterone, and now I can bench 295 for 6, and in the past it was only 3. So it's like, and I was dieting. Like I got leaner and stronger. So it's like if
body
it doesn't
recomping.
Yeah, I feel like it basically helps you. It can help you body recomp and keep more muscle.
Have you ever considered going on gear? And if you have, would you ever compete in a show?
That's a good one. Yes, I have considered going on gear before, as many influencers either think about or do. I decide not to because I don't want to mess with my hormones. I fear that. I fear the side effects of hair loss. I fear the side effect of getting more gyno. I have pubertal gyno, not a lot, but I have a little, and I just don't want to grow that and it get worse, and then I need to get surgery because that's actually that's like an insecurity of mine. So I don't want to enhance it. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it. I feel like the pressure of if I look better, I will make more money, or if I look better, I will be more known is always there. But I feel like I understand social media in a different direction, so I don't need to do that. I was like, okay, if I can't look extra crazy, then I'm just gonna be smarter on social media and use different tactics to grow rather than just my looks.
I think that's a great answer, and you have to think some people are more known for their bodies, their looks. For example, 3-time Mr. Olympia, Chris Bumstead, we assume he's not natural. He's probably not natural. And so if he were natural, perhaps he wouldn't do as good. But Jesse's not known for competing in the Mr. Olympia. So do you really watch Jesse because his muscles are huge? Or do you watch him for the entertainment factor, his personality, the way he gets along with other people, and you just want to see what's going on? And so if he's bigger and more ripped, does it really add to that? In comparison, Coach Greg, you probably started watching me talking about PDs and SARMs and so on. You watched me competing as an IFBB pro, and so for me, probably more pressure to look a certain way because, well, you've watched me, you've seen me get huge, and for me, I've been natural, well, not quite, I've been on HRT, so not really natural. For 3 years, no cycles, I've gotten smaller, and so you could see the pressures there. I'd love to do a cycle, I'd love to be huge again, but I just don't for my health, and so is the health factor a reason as well? Like, yeah. I mean, you're only 22, and you're like, well, I could probably do low dose, and it wouldn't be that scary, but like, does that come into your mind?
I fear the idea of having to do something for my whole life. So like if I hop on anything and come off, I have to either like, I don't even know how to PCT. Like the research, in reality, I wouldn't do it because I don't know anything about it. Like I genuinely wouldn't know what to get, how much, or anything. So I feel like I either do it wrong or I don't know, like I'd have to put way more time into understanding it, and I just don't really have the desire. I also don't really care about being that big. For me, it's more just like, do I have a 6-pack? Can I still squat and bench what I squat and bench a year ago? Yes. Okay, we're good. Like something like that.
And for those of you watching this, you all think like if you have this huge, massive body that you're going to get more girls, for example. And trust me, if Jesse had 20 more pounds of muscle on him, he would attract more boys.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
It actually wouldn't
The
help.
more jacked you get, you just become more intimidating to women. They don't necessarily like it. And so if you're thinking, I have to look like Chris Bumstead to get, you don't even need half that much muscle.
No.
Like, be yourself, be personable, be confident, try to be somewhat lean, like not obese, per se. Like if you're a healthy person, or at least you're trying, and I know not everyone has the genetics to be lean and whatnot, but like just do your best. And even for me, I can respect anyone that's trying. Not everyone has genetics to be single-digit body fat. If you're 30% body fat and you used to be 50 and you got down to 30, that is amazing. What's important is that you're trying, you're doing your best to look better, feel better, live a longer and healthier life.
How stressful is it knowing Coach Greg is watching and ready to argue against your fitness advice? How often does Coach Greg come to mind when you're about to say some debatable opinions on a video? Knowing that he's here right now, I don't really think of him as someone that's trying to pick an argument. Like I'm like, we're making a good video, that's all we're doing. And then when it comes to like when I'm filming and like giving advice, one, I don't give that much advice compared to what I used to. I feel like that's not my channel. My channel is the entertainment and motivation rather than education and motivation. I don't know. I don't really. I would say Coach Greg doesn't come to mind when I'm giving a piece of advice because I'm only going to say what I know. If I don't know something, I'm not going to bring it up. For Greg, will you ever compete again? If yes, will you hop on gear again?
And so the answer is I'm hoping to compete again. I don't feel like I've retired, especially I'm picturing at 50. I'd like to be in, if there's like a 50 and over division and I want to do so without using a cycle. I don't know if I'm on HRT, so if they allowed HRT, I absolutely would want to do that. For me to compete, if it's drug tested and you can't use HRT, I doubt I would do that. I don't want to suffer from the symptoms of having low T. It sucks. I was 9 weeks off HRT at one point because of the tricep. The doctors tried something. It's not good. The sex drive goes down, can't sleep as well, you don't feel as good, and so I don't really want to go and suffer for that, but will I compete again? I think so, and it will be, in fact, without a cycle. Jesse, what time frame of your lifting career did you make the majority of your gains?
I would say I started working out at 15. When I turned 17, I was like, holy crap, I'm huge. Like everyone thought I was on gear in high school, and I wasn't. I just had great responding genetics to lifting, and I was bulking. Like that was the only time I bulked. The only time I bulked was when I was 15 to about 19. I bulked for a while, but it was a steady lean bulk.
Now, was your body fat going up at this time?
Very slowly.
Okay, so it's like...
So I'm naturally a skinny guy. It's why I can be leaner, I think.
Okay.
But I was eating about 3,500 calories, and I was 150 pounds. Got up to... I gained like 10 pounds a year for 3 years, but some of it was fat by the end of it, and then I had to cut. But I would say the first 2 years of my lifting, like I truly transformed from, I already had good genetics. Like I already had a good chest and good abs. But I gained like 20 pounds, let's say. And I would say 15 of it, unless I'm wrong, was muscle and 5 was fat. Maybe it was 10 and 10, but it looked at least like I was like 20 pounds heavier, just like muscle. So the first 2 years, and then it was very slow and steady since then. I probably only gained like 5 pounds in like 3-4 years, I feel like. I mean, it's hard to tell. Like, I definitely recomped. My shoulders look better, and like my upper chest is fuller. My calves might have grown a little. It's like different little small things. Mm-hmm. But the majority of like my lats getting huge, my legs really blowing up was like the first 2 years, because I was every day, 6 days a week, hitting muscles twice a week, high volume, high intensity, ton of calories, and my body just was absorbing everything. So like. I don't know. That's genetics, I guess.
It's so strange to hear other people because, like, I never experienced this, like, early years getting huge thing because I started training at 10. And so I put on a massive amount of muscle when I was 13 when I went through puberty, but I grew 8 inches at the same time. So I was literally benching, and I was getting so strong and putting on so much muscle. It was shocking, but I was also growing a little mustache. I was actually tall at one point in my life. I remember being the second tallest kid in the class.
Wow.
But when you're in grade 7...
I was a late bloomer.
I stopped growing at 13. I was completely maxed up. My feet were done growing. My height was good. 13 years old. So I was a pretty big 13-year-old. I looked 15. Then everyone was like, holy. But after that, it was just slow. Like the 3 to 5 pounds of muscle every year for years.
That sounds similar to my story. Like when you were in your dense puberty like session or whatever, your dense puberty, when you were going through puberty the most,
age 12 to 13.
Age 12, 13
so
is like,
young.
That was like your real gains. And then like for me, it was like 15, I literally finally, like I was like the latest, I was the skinniest of all my friends, smallest of all my friends. Everyone hit puberty, everyone had mustache, facial hair. I didn't have anything. And then 15, I started to, and then like obviously my test levels were probably through the roof, and was gaining the muscle. And then once I stopped growing around like 17, I think that's when it like just was steady. But my strength, I really got strong when I was 18 because I actually started training for strength. I didn't train any heavy lifting until I was 18 because I didn't care. I just wanted to get big. So
I was maxing out all the time as a kid. My first training program when I was 10 was sets of 6.
Yeah, I didn't do
program with my
12.
dad. All heavy. We didn't know what we're doing. It's just like maxing out all the time. Didn't know better. I actually lift way lighter now as I gotten older. I was like, I shouldn't have done
followed
that.
Julian Smith, and he was like my biggest inspiration to weightlifting and like bodybuilding. And one, he has massive legs, and I was like, I want huge legs. That's why I literally, like, my best friend would tell you, like, I never skipped a leg day until like now. Like my whole first 4 years of lifting, I never skipped a single leg day. I'd skip any arm day, any chest day, but I figured like if you're skipping legs, like you're being a bitch. So like I always stuck to that.
Legs is always the hardest for anyone to train.
It's
so
hard.
It's just normal.
Yeah.
Would you ever join in on YouTube boxing, perhaps a friendly match with Will Tennyson?
Will, you better watch out, boy. I would do YouTube boxing. The person would have to be the same size of social media, if not bigger than me.
Do you know how to box?
Very, very minorly, but
No, okay.
No, let's say no, properly.
You don't have
properly,
boxing
no.
training.
No.
Okay.
But I know for a fact, I played D1 lacrosse. Like, I know you could be like, oh, he was an athlete. But like, I was an athlete my whole life. Like, I'm more of an athlete than I am a bodybuilder.
Right.
Or a social media creator. So like, that's like something that would be second nature to me, to go train and like go hard for a year and then box. I would want time.
I could never
there's so
put a
much
year of
technique.
training into it. I don't like it. I don't like getting hit. I don't like hitting. It's not fun for me.
I've done like little sparring things and like I've been hit. Like I fought my girlfriend's brother and like I
thought you were gonna say I fought my girlfriend.
No,
Like,
my
whoa.
girlfriend's brother. We did like a boxing video and like we were going at it like to a degree and like I love it.
Yeah.
But like the only reason I don't do it is because like what am I training for? Like I want to conquer YouTube and then go into like bigger things.
Yeah.
You might see me on I might be on the WWE one day.
I would have a hard, I guess,
Even though it's not boxing.
I would have a hard time fighting my friends if I thought they could actually get hurt. But I think with boxing gloves and stuff, it's not like if you had a sparring helmet.
I mean,
it's
I've been
not like that
I've been
serious.
punched by a few people like in the head and it's like it hurts, but like in 2 seconds later you're fine.
Yeah, it's not like you're
like,
UFC
whoa.
breaking an arm or
No.
something and they can't use it.
But I would
hate
say
that.
I would probably be better at kickboxing or MMA because of the leg strength I have. Like
Makes
that when
sense.
I was doing like the video with my girlfriend's brother, Brandon, like I used my legs to my advantage. Like he was really good at wrestling, so if I just stayed off that and could kick his legs,
Yeah.
like I got thunder thighs,
Right.
You know?
Is he interested in bodybuilding or powerlifting in the future? And if so, like which one?
Oof. I would say over both of those, bodybuilding, but powerlifting prep seems more like friendly.
Well, you don't have to diet for powerlifting, so you
Yeah.
can literally just show up and you just
Yeah.
test out your squat, max, bench, and deadlift. That's it.
But
Dieting for bodybuilding, that can be tough.
yeah, dieting for it's just the diet. It's going from 10% to 6% is so hard. Like for everyone that does that, like I don't know how. Like Greg was saying, what were you saying yesterday? Like if you kind of want to do it, don't do it.
If you're questioning or wondering if you should compete in bodybuilding, the answer is no. If you're saying, I want to compete, I cannot wait to compete, that is the person that should bodybuild, not needing to be convinced. Like, I shouldn't be like, Jesse, do a show, come on, and like, you'll do good. No, he should be like, Greg, I want to do a show, can you coach me? That is what the person should be saying if they're going to do a competition.
Agreed.
It's hard.
Really hard.
Very hard.
We're
That's what
hard.
she said. All right, so hopefully you liked the Q&A with Jesse. Remember, you can go follow him on his channel. Please do that. Subscribe, click the bell button.
do that.
Comment for the algorithm. Did you enjoy this? And until next time,
click this video right here.
click on the video. The bloops. Don't forget about the bloops. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
And until next time, I am out.
Stay relentless.